back to my channel. For those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Londyn. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below as well as the little bell right next to it so you can be notified for future videos. Today's video is going to be a full review, a swatch test, and a tutorial on the brand spanking new Kat Von D limited edition Pastel Goth palette. And I can't even get over the packaging, let alone the palette, you guys. The packaging is stunning. The palette is stunning. The creativity that went behind this palette is just, it's mesmerizing. Kat Von D never fails to amaze me with her palettes, with her products, with anything that she puts out there. So just before we jump into the actual palette, we're going to talk about the packaging a little bit. So the packaging right here, obviously the palette looks exactly the same, but on the front packaging of the palette, all of the letters are here. They're a little bit shiny behind, and where they're shiny, they're a little bit bumpy. Now on the back of the palette, you have all of the shades that you're going to get inside of the palette. You have a little bit of information up here, and then all of the names per shadow are listed within each other. Now, before we jump in, I will say there are 8 shades, and each shade is 0.06 ounces worth of product. So then you kind of like open it up, and this is the palette, this is the box. As you can tell, they are identical. Now, just before we jump into the palette, I will say that if you're hoping to get some form of guide to teach you different looks that you can do with this palette, you're not going to get one. It's not the same as the Shade and Light palettes where there are that little plastic cue card or whatever. That is not in this package. So this is the palette. Like I said, it's the same as the box, but when you feel the palette, almost all of the letters are risen on every letter. Does that make sense? Everything is bumpy. Now on the back you have the same look that you had on the box, but the colors are not like shaded in, if that makes sense, but the names of each color are still there. So when you go to open the palette, it looks like this. So you have all of your shades here, and then you have the mirror. So the mirror looks like this. It is a very nice mirror. It doesn't distort your face at all. You have your cute little, I think they're supposed to be water droplets, and then her name there. So from, this would be right, this would be left, oops. So from right to left, you have Star, Clementine, Meow, Dope, Doom, Gloom, Dagger, and Skull. So this one, oh no wait, sorry. This one here is Star, this one here is Skull. It's upside down so I can keep the mirror out of the way, but if you were to look at it like this, left to right, Star, and Skull. Okay, so we had a little bit of a hiccup with the camera, so let's just jump very quickly into the swatches. So like I said, this is the palette. From left to right, we have Star, Clementine, Meow, Dope, Doom, Gloom, Dagger, and Skull. Now I'm going to be swatching 4 at a time. I'm going to show you what they look like on my fingers. I'm going to swatch them on my hand. I'm going to do 4 on each hand. So let's just jump right into it. So on the first hand, I'm going to be swatching Star, Clementine, Meow, and Dope. So the 4 look like this on my hand. This one looks a little bit chalky, and the other ones look solid. I will say that once you put Star on your hand, it doesn't look chalky, it doesn't feel chalky. But definitely when you're kind of putting it on your finger, it does feel and it does look chalky, which is kind of a downside, but if it doesn't transfer that way on my lid, which it doesn't, then I really have nothing to complain about. So this is what the 4 of them swatch like, and that's just with one swatch. This one here, which is Dope, is one of my favorite shades, and it only keeps looking like this because I'm running it over my knuckles. But I very much enjoy the 3 of these shades, you guys. They really glide effortlessly onto your eye. There's no issue with them. If I go over like Meow again, just to kind of deepen it up a bit, it really looks pretty. Same with Clementine and Dope. Like, they all look fantastic. Like this, they look really pretty. They're really pretty to make a really cool and like unique look with. And I would definitely obviously use them over and over again. So for the next 4 shades that I'm going to be swatching, I'm going to be swatching Doom, Gloom, Dagger, and Skull on my other hand. So that's what the 4 of these ones look like just as finger swatches. I know these shadows would look a lot better if I was taking my time to swatch them, but my camera is just not cooperating with me, so I just wanted to get it done so I can put this video up for you guys so you guys can see how amazing this palette is. So these are the 4 shades here. So I don't know, you can't really see Skull that well, but this is the white shade. So this is Skull, Dagger, Gloom, and this is Doom right up here. This Doom shade is so heavily pigmented, it's insane. Everything is really great with this palette, with the exception of Star being a tad bit chalky, a tad bit of kick up. But other than that, you guys, like, I would definitely recommend going out and purchasing this palette while you can. It is limited edition, so I'm not sure how long your guys' Sephora is going to have it. I know I was just really lucky that I called them bright and early in the morning and they put one on hold for me. But yeah, you guys, like, definitely 100% recommend. I would definitely say to go and get it. And without further ado, let's just jump right into the tutorial. Okay, so for this tutorial, like you guys already know, I'm going to be using the new Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette. So where there aren't a whole hell of a lot of transition shades that go into this palette, I'm going to be dipping into the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette if need be. I will be listing and letting you guys know all of the shades that I use as we go on, but without further ado, let's just jump into the tutorial. So first off, I'm going to be priming my eyes. Like the last video, I'm going to be using the MAC Prep and Prime 24-hour eye base, and I'm just going to put a tad bit on both of my eyes, and then after that, I'm going to set them with a white eyeshadow. I'm going to be going into the Pastel Goth palette to set my eyes. I'm going to be going in with the white shade right here, which is called Skull. And I'm just going to be taking any normal eyeshadow brush. I'm going to be using my Elizabeth Mott all over shadow brush. It just looks like this. I got it from Ipsy, and I'm just going to pack it onto my lid, and I'm going to take it up a tad bit into the crease, but not all the way to the brow bone. Great, so now that that's done, I'm just going to be going ahead with a different all-over shadow brush. One that just looks like this. Again, like I've said in my previous video, the brushes that you use do not have to be identical to the brushes that I use. These brushes work for me, they might not work for you, and that's totally okay. So I'm going to be going into the very purple shade right here. This one's called Dope, and I'm going to be putting that all over my lid. Whoa. Okay, so this shade is super pigmented, which is awesome. Purple is like my favorite color, so when I get a purple eyeshadow that is pigmented, I am on top of the world. Okay, so now that that's done, now that we have the purple all over our eyes, I'm going to go in with a eyeshadow blending brush. I'm going to be going in with the shade Meow, which is the pink shade right here. And I'm going to be taking that and I'm going to be smoking it out on the outer corner and up above the purple. Now the shade Meow is going to be more heavily focused on into the outer portion of the eye, not so much up top, so we're going to make sure we pack it in to the outer corner and then we're going to blend up. And now we're just going to go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other eye. I'm really hoping that the natural light is not totally blowing the color out. It's a beautiful day out. I thought I'd turn the blind up, and now that I think about it, it probably was not the best decision. And now what I'm going to be doing actually is I'm going to be going back in to the other eye, and I'm going to be taking a mixture of Meow and Dope, and I'm going to be putting that on the outer corner of my eye just to try and blend the shades a little bit better. So now that we have that done, I'm going to go in with a smudger brush. I'm going to jump into the shade Star, which is the yellow shade right at the front, and I'm going to be putting that on my inner corner. So now that that inner corner is done, I'm just going to go back in with the exact same blending brush that we've been using this whole time, and I'm going to go back in with Meow and Dope and mix them together. And as I mix the two colors together on my eye, I'm also carrying the brush into my inner corner to try and blend that yellow out just a tiny bit. So now that we have the lids done, I'm going to be going in with a smudger brush, just something tiny that looks like this, or really any type of brush that works for you for your lower lash line. And I'm going to be jumping into the color Doom, which is this very, very pretty blue, and I'm going to be taking that and putting it underneath of my lash line. And on both eyes, we're just dragging that blue all the way to the yellow. And then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking the opposite side of the smudge brush and we're going to jump into the color Gloom, which is the green color. And we're just going to put it right where the blue and the yellow meet, so it kind of gives a little bit of a transition from one color to the other. So at this point we kind of have a rainbow on our eyes, and the only shade that we have not used is Clementine. So I'm going to be going in with a clean blending brush. I'm going to be picking up a little bit of Clementine on my brush, and I'm just going to kind of sweep it above Meow and Dope on the top of my eyes just to blend it out a bit. I'm going to be jumping into the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm going to be going into the shade, I don't know. I'm going to be going into this shade right here, this brown, and I'm just going to be darkening up the outer corner with a clean blending brush. Okay, so we're just going to do some liner to start. I'm going to be going in with the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper, and I'm just going to create a wing to kind of pull this look together. Okay, so now that we have our wings done, I'm just going to pop on some mascara, and then we'll put on some lashes, and then this look will be finished. So now that the mascara is on, I'm going to put some lashes on, finish up my face, and I will be right back. Alright you guys, so this is it. This is the final product of the Pastel Goth tutorial that I have for you guys. I have to say that I am super happy with the outcome of how it came out. I was a tad worried about doing this tutorial for you guys because I've never really done anything like it before. But like I said, I'm really happy with it. So thank you once again for tuning into my channel. Thank you for making me a part of your day. If you guys liked what you saw, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little bell before you take off. And if you guys have any requests of any palettes that you'd like me to review, anything that you'd like to see a tutorial of, anything at all, please don't hesitate to contact me on one of my social platforms or leave a comment down below. Once again guys, your support means absolutely everything to me, and I love doing these videos for you guys, so thank you once again for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See you guys later.